This elephant bone right here, right?
Yeah, man, you got it all.
Lost son.
Lost son. Come on that hill with you.
And this is
Mr. 2020.
Two-time Vino son.
Two-time Veneno, yeah. Two-time Veneno on the top. Bottom half is has a blood.
Man, this dog is beautiful.
Actually,
right here.
Gucci, man. DOG Gucci, man. That's some older. Actually, go way back to the Bulls after this. On the bottom half.
Man.
Marcus, he way more cooperative.
Look at that boy there. Alright, we're inside the muscle memory facility right here. This that boy 2020 right
there. Wanda, chill.
And currently, what's the age on him right now?
He's only 5 months old.
5 months old. This boy here.
Wanda, chill. See, my dogs ain't used to strangers. They ain't used to company.
They ain't playing. Let's see what the camera time. Like I said, we out here at the Muscle Memory facilities. How did you get involved with the exotics, man? How did you pick this boy up right here?
I own it, man. Zeb. I had so many people asking me for micro Merles. What people keep calling me asking for. So, of course, you see most of what we breed is pocket, and some of my dogs might come out micro sometimes, technically under 13 inches tall. But so many people want it. So many customers have been asking me for micro Merles, and I want them to understand that it's the difference between micro exotic and a micro American bully. You know what I'm saying? So everything's in the pedigree. It's all in the blood. I like this look. You see, 20 really doesn't have an exotic look. He's got an American bully look as far as his structure goes. You know what I'm saying? And his father is one of my favorites, Aka, out in Belgium. He's a two-time Veneno son. And I fell in love with Aka first. I wanted to breed Aka Plat over there. Platinum Pressure is my 9 times Dax Tino daughter. Tino is the same Tino's son. Tino real nice, man. Owned by Ernie Luna out in Washington. But anyway, so many people ask me for micro Merles, and I'm like, okay, I can create a section of dogs and do a couple breedings for people, and lead by example like we've been doing, man. My daughter do most of the work in here, as you can see. She does it all, man. But yeah, so we wanted to lead by example and breed them the right way, like the same way we've been doing with the Murals, you know, using the proper ABKC blotch lineage, and just breeding clean, functional dogs, man. Because me personally, I don't like, you know, a dog that's not going to have a long life. I don't like, you know, most of the exotics that people breed out there. You know, to each his own. But at the same time, you got to think what you're selling, what you're giving somebody is, you know, it's an investment. And not only are they investing in a piece of their kennel, but it's a family member. The one, it's a family member, you know what I'm saying? So you want a nice functional dog, man. And to me, 20 is as close to that as you're gonna find with that exotic blood, but still have a clean American bully structure, you know what I mean?
Beautiful color, man.
Yeah, man, beautiful color on them. Of course, we're gonna breed them too. We're gonna breed them to some Merles also, but he's just the beginning of our, you know, our micro section of what we're gonna be doing, man.
Man, was it hard for him to come up off this boy?
It wasn't easy, I say that. Aka is a good producer. This is their first pick, male out of their litter. This was Yannick's pick. I was just on the phone with him trying to get him to send me the stud for, the semen collection for Aka. Having a little issue with the boxes that he's supposed to, the box anyway, or acquiring the boxes in. But anyway, yeah, man. So he you know, cost me a pretty penny. Like I told you, he cost me a lot of money. So I think he's worth every bit of it, though, man. Real nice dog, man.
Man, beautiful facility out here, man.
Thank you. All that credit go to my daughter Nakia.
Big backyard right here, man. It's crazy. Alright, today on Bully Talk with Zed Pitts, I'm out here at the Muscle Mural facilities with Nekos and his daughter. What's good, big dog?
What's up, man? What's up, Zed? How you doing?
Man, we're going to take it all the way back for the people that might not know, man.
Yeah.
Talk about the first time you got involved with the American Bully and your vision when you first got involved with the breed.
Man, when I first got into the dogs, like I told you in our original video we did, my brother had already been breeding bullies for a while. But I saw something in the industry that, you know, a lot of people didn't see. I just saw the potential in it. And one thing that people were not taking advantage of was the fact that Merles were not being bred to the correct bloodlines, in my opinion. They weren't being bred to the best bloodlines anyway. So I was the first, we were the first to put the color Merle, you know, any Merle pattern on muscle tone blood. So that's the first thing we did. Like I told you in our first video, my goose son Law, we done it all. Everything that I told you we was going to do, man, we did it. You know what I'm saying? And we off and running right now.
Alright, we back. We were talking about during the time where it was very popular,
right?
With the Murals, and it's kind of crazy what you see now. Everybody's into it, man. How does it feel now that you see your vision out there everywhere?
Man, it feels good, man. It feels good. I just want, like I said again from our first interview, I want people to keep it about the dogs. And the greatest thing about the internet is you got the delete button, but you also have a track record of history documented every day. You know what I'm saying? Our daily interaction. So I've seen a lot of people come from bashing Murals to fully loving them and incorporating them into their kennels now. You know what I'm saying? And it's a great thing to see. But from day one, like I said, we've been all about integrity, man, and that's what we continue to do.
What has the demand been like for the Muscle Murals?
Big time demand, man. Our litters sell out before they're born. You know, when I post the breeding, people just waiting on that, you know, that confirmed stamp. We put a confirmed stamp on our website, on the banners on our website. Our website is our main hub, though. We focus all our energy into musclemurals.com, and when we post on, you know, different platforms, everything goes to that one hub, man. But the demand has been great. It's been a great demand, and we got some really tough decisions to make coming up. We just did the most historical breedings, within the same time span. All these females came in the heat. You know, I got a few females out there on co-owns. That's another thing that we've been doing, is expanding the industry by doing co-owns. You know what I mean? So a lot of people can't pay $15,000, $16,000 for a second pick, first pick puppy. So they'd rather pay, you know, that 50% off, and we split the first litter. I helped them market the litter, helped them sell their puppies, and we got a long-lasting, you know, lifetime relationship, man. So, like I said, it's been a great demand, not only for what we're producing, but just for the way we do business.
You know, outside of the muscle tone blood, you also went over and got some of that Lucky Lou blood also as well, man. Yeah, man.
Yeah. Starting out with the Lucky Lou blood, it was off of Candy Crush, who was the mom to Elephant Bone and LaWanda, and bred Law to her. We got second pick off that, and then I bought LaWanda, who was the first pick, and that was from Meek Line Kennels. But we recently just bred directly to Lucky Luciano with our female Jackie Brown. She's a Law daughter also. Law bred to a Gotti Line / Razor's Edge Merle female that has the original ABKC blotch lineage. You know what I mean? I put so much emphasis on that because a lot of people own Merles and don't even know anything about how it all got started. They just assume it came from Bulldog, and that's not the truth. You know what I'm saying? ABKC is grandfathered in a few bloodlines of Merles, and they're called blotch on the paperwork. So people who have Merles and have ABKC papers think that they have, you know, the proper paperwork, but they really don't. If it doesn't say blotched on your Merle Bully's paperwork in the ABKC, then it's paper hump. And you can go right to the pedigree, look at the pictures of all the dogs, and you can see there's no Merle in there in a lot of people's pedigrees. But we started out with the proper lineage, you know what I'm saying? And like I said, that's how we got to where we are now, man. But it's so much misdirection in the American Bully world in general that we just try to, you know, be as clear as possible with people and give people proper direction. And I send them straight to the same sources I got my information from it, and I speak from experience at the same time, though.
You know, speaking on that with the ABKC and the whole situation with the mural, what was the talks like with Dave as you were giving him your vision of what you were trying to do with the Merle blood and what the ABKC is trying to do at this time? Because I think it's some certain things that's actually about to go down. I don't know if you were able to talk about that.
Yeah, I mean, I can't fully talk about everything, but in just, man, Dave Wilson been a real supportive guy. I mean, all the way from when I first got started into the dogs, before I even did my first Merle breeding, I had a conversation with him. And that's just the way I do research in general, man. I try to go directly to the source. And that's another good thing about the world we live in today is no matter what industry I decided to get into, you have the luxury of going directly to the source. You might not always get a response, but if you come correctly, you can get, you know, as much information as they allow. And that's how I look at Dave Wilson. You know, he's one of those people who's, of course, a pioneer of the breed. You know, remember we did the show at my father's park, 2018. I gave that man a, you know, Lifetime Achievement Award because that's how big it is to me. That's how I see it. You know what I'm saying? And you know, it's all about, like I said, setting that example, man. You know, and he's done that. And even throughout all the years of him getting, you know, backlash / just everybody got haters and everything, especially when you're successful. You know what I mean? He's dealt with a lot of that, you know, in a good way. He set an example for people who breed these dogs in general, man. So, but in just like in short, like I said, he's been very supportive.
To your knowledge, has he said we can see the Merle in the ring anytime soon?
Not directly, not like that. No, I will say that. Like, I'm not saying Merle's going to receive points in the ring next year, the year after. I'm not saying that, but there is a, you know, what should I say? There is an example to set like we are when it comes to breeding them the right way, because it comes from. I can say this. It comes down to understanding genetics in general. And the Merle is an example of why we should focus on the genetics of each and every one of our dogs and actually what we're breeding, you know what I'm saying? So when it comes down to learning the genetics of the Merle bully and understanding why the color Merle exists anyway, it just leads you down this path of understanding animal genetics. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just speaking for people in general, because I've always known animal genetics myself, just coming from breeding fish. I've always known how to, you know, do simple, you know, Punnett squares or breedings and all that. That's simple, but when you get to the double helix of everything with the dogs, it's much deeper and it's much more detailed than it was when I was breeding fish, because I've come from having a litter of 1,000 fish to now focusing on a litter of 10, 12 puppies. And what they all come from, you know what I'm saying? It all just goes hand in hand, like I said, understanding animals in general, man. But I think the Merle is a great segue into people expanding their minds and understanding that what you're doing is much deeper than you just making money.
Now, has any of your customers expressed the thought of putting their puppies in the ring? Have any of them talked about that?
Yeah, like, I mean, technically, you can take a Merle into a show ring, and that judge, who's ever judging, has the option to kick you out or allow you to show your dog, but you just, obviously, you won't receive points. You know what I'm saying? And it's a whole bunch of different reasons. Like I've heard a whole bunch of different arguments of why the Merle should, like, never be allowed in the ring. And the beauty of the dog is one component of it. Like, I don't think a Merle will have to be as structurally sound as some other bullies because the wow factor of the color in general. But when it's got the wow factor of the color and the structure, it's hard for that dog to lose, because everybody likes beauty, man. You know what I'm saying? And like I said before, capturing the human eye is the biggest part of all of this. Everybody likes a wow factor dog, you know. But yeah, it's a right and wrong way to do everything.
It's interesting that you say that. You know, when you think about snakes and the exotic patterns that you see on certain snakes and a certain amount that they go for because they're so unique.
Exactly.
Have you come in your process of doing different breedings, seeing that very unique blotch pattern per se in the American Bullies yet, or you still work?
Because you got different types of murals. So you got, you know, Harlequin murals, you got tweed murals. I like tweeds, which are, you know, ones with the most variation of patterns and colors on them. But yeah, it's some stuff that's like, man, it's hard for me to make decisions because all of them are so beautiful, and not just because of the color, but the blood that I'm working with is all top-notch stuff, man. So it's really hard for us to pick puppies sometimes, man. For us to have litters coming off of Lucky Luciano, Aka, who is 2020's father, the two-time Lino's son, another litter coming off of Beanstalk, all Merle litters. We got some tough decisions to make, you know what I'm saying? And we plan on keeping something from every one, but can't keep them all. And when you get to this level, you just got to get used to selling great looking stuff. You know what I mean? So it comes with the territory.
Now your foundation is muscle tone blood. What was the conversations like with Rashad when you was telling him your vision of the muscle Murals?
Oh, it was good, man. Rashad, another person who was real supportive. Somebody else who got a lot of haters. You know what I'm saying? That's something I've always been used to in life in general. Like, people always want to have something to say. You know what I mean? But Rashad been real supportive, man. And no pushback, no negative, you know, comments, nothing at all. You know what I mean? He been real supportive from day one. And I've been supportive of him as well, no matter what, you know, what the people say. I focus on the dog and what I'm looking at. Like I just told you, I just had an issue with the guy who owned Aka. I had an issue with Yannick on the phone, but I'm not gonna take it personal because I want the semen from the dog. I'm focused on the dog. You know what I mean? Because dogs are also something that bring all different types of people together, man. I would have never had a conversation with Yannick over in Belgium at all in life ever if it wasn't for these dogs. You know what I mean? And that's never gonna. No matter how he wants to do business, if he feels like he shouldn't have to send me the semen back in the box that I sent him. Whatever case may be, I sent him a box to help him out because he said he couldn't get me a box in time as a vet. He can't get to the vet; they're shut down over there. So, but anyway, even if he decides not to do the right thing, that's not going to change me as a person. You feel me? I'm focused on the dogs and what's going to come out of bettering the breed in my way.
Now I see you have your daughter over here, man. How long have you been involved with helping out your dad with the dogs?
3 going on 4 years.
What is it like to deal with the dogs on the daily like this?
I would say it's fun seeing them every day, like seeing them grow from puppies to grown dogs now. I like seeing them. And taking care of litters from when they're babies is fun.
Were you reluctant at first to deal with the?
Actually, no, that was my idea to get into it.
Really?
She wanted to help from day one, man. I mean, when I started, she was 8 years old. Oh, 9. He was 9. She was 9 years old when I first got started, and every day she would come down, like in our old house, she'd come downstairs and say, "Daddy, can I help?" I'm like, "No, like I got to learn what I'm doing first," because I just got, like I said, I've been around dogs my whole life, but when it came to trying to, really run a program, and I had so much research, I had a, learning curve when it came to understanding how these dogs work. Even though I knew animals, I didn't know how the bully world works. When it came to pedigrees and the prestige behind them, I had a lot I had to learn. So I was like, before you even come down here and try to help me, I want to make sure I know everything. So when I speak to you, I'm speaking from experience. You know what I'm saying? So that's why she had to wait her time. She had to wait for her time, and now she's doing it all.
What was it like for you to see that first litter born?
The first litter that I whelped was Law and Ivanka.
Yep, the first one that she whelped was Law Ivanka. That was our second Merle breeding. Yep. And we got Ivanka from Wanda Cruz. I was Wanda Cruz in North Carolina, man. She got some of the oldest Merle blood out there, properly bred, ABKC blotch lineage, and she's the one who helped me understand the differences in these Merle pedigrees and where they all came from, what's proper and what's not. She helped me understand that, and I bought my best foundation bitch from her at the time, and the dog we got from her is the Merle's grandmother. And now you see we got a direct Shamrock daughter in Merle. She's amazing, man.
Now I gotta ask, have you talked to your dad about, say, hey, we should put this breeding together? Have y'all had those talks like that before?
Yeah, every time time we do a different breeding, we always go through like a list of different possible studs and possible outcomes of what puppies will come out of those litters before we actually go with one stud.
Now wait, I'm gonna cut this off. We didn't.
Oh, that was you. I was like, where was
nah,
that?
This my one of my co-owners. Actually, he about to pick Lawanda up. I just sold her from the co-own. So,
Oh wow.
yeah, man. We got a lot going, but making space at the same time, bringing stuff in. But yeah, we ain't even finish it here yet. We ain't even put up. She got great pictures of herself showing dogs. We got this our dry erase boards are in the house. Like we got a lot of stuff put up. But what she was saying was, we map out like the whole year before we even get started. You know what I'm saying? And we map out, you know, the males, the females, and the stud credits we have, and we just map out the whole, plan out the whole entire year, man. Sometimes we get stuff that interject that by, you know, something might come out looking a lot better than we expected, and we kind of not necessarily deviate from the plan, but tweak it a little bit, and you know, we map it all out, man. But she's so much like me. It's like working with a better, younger version of myself.
Now, I gotta ask now, do you prefer the bullies or the new exotic that your dad just brung in with 2020?
I say I like them both. 20 is probably easier to take care of because he's a smaller dog, and exotics in general are smaller. They don't need quite as much exercise as a full-size American bully. But I think I like them both equally.
Both equal. What do you want to do when you grow up?
A microbiologist. I want to become a microbiologist.
Oh wow! what made you spark your interest in wanting to do that?
Just like I like looking at small things underneath like a microscope and going into like different genetics. Mostly it's my science classes. I'm homeschooled, so I get to choose which science classes I like to take, and I like microbiology.
What is homeschool like?
I think it's fun. You get to pick out your own schedule, and you get to go at your own pace. So if you want to do five lessons in a day, you can do that. Like you can accelerate your path onto the next grade if you want to.
Let me ask you, Nekos, what's the deciding factor to do the homeschooling?
School was too slow for her, man. It was really too slow for her. This is what, your 4th year homeschool?
Yeah.
Yeah, her 4th year at homeschool, and she's been able to move so much faster. Like when she was in elementary school, man, they had her just reading to other classes, helping teachers helping teachers teach the class, and she wasn't, you know, doing what she could be doing. You know what I mean? And I know a lot of parents understand now the opportunities of homeschooling. At the same time, how it can be a struggle for some people who don't already have structure in their life. You know what I mean? So for me, man, to be able to stop teaching, 'cause I was teaching at the same time that she was in school, and when I finished playing football, I decided to, you know, take care of my kids every single day instead of somebody else's. By me, you know, I'm at school. She at school 7 hours. I'm at school 7 hours teaching. She's, you know, a student. I go pick her up, and then half the day gone by the time we interact, and we're both having the same issue. We're not being utilized the way we could be if we just had our own time. You know what I mean? So she's, man, accelerated so far. She's been on a college reading level for like 3 years now, and she's, like I said, head and shoulders above where I was at her age, man. She's only 12, and like that line you use, like, what do you want to do when you grow up? We don't even use that. Like, whatever she want to do, she can just do it now. And you know, her being a microbiologist is something that requires a certain level of credential to have the title. But I encourage my kids all the time to be whatever you want to be right now. You know, you create it, you manifest everything in this universe through your mind. So she's completely in control, man. You know,
that's a great point what you said. And you know, in the midst of what we see in the pandemic, do you see homeschooling now becoming a more of an option for parents now that they see, hey, maybe we can do this,
right? Exactly.
Instead of relying on the school system where you're taught certain things, but not so much on what you're going to need in life. Right. That's what I mean.
Yeah, definitely, man. Because it's so much opportunity in the world now. If you just sit and look at how much you control, you know what I mean? Why enlist your energy into something that you don't control? Like, we're literally doing something right now. We manifested all of this from the first time I spoke to you, you know what I mean? And anybody can do it. Anybody can do it, man. You just got, all it takes is a level of self-belief and a level of, just persistence. and not giving up on yourself and not feeling like you can't do something because it's not vetted by somebody else. Like, I love what we're doing right now. I'm gonna have to do it by myself eventually when she move out and live her life, do whatever she want to do. But we control this, you know what I'm saying? We influence this, and how many puppies the dogs have and how good of health they're in. All of that is related to our energetic signature. How in tune with ourselves are we? You know what I mean? And as long as we are in tune with, we're one with ourselves, that just rolls off on the dogs. And it's nothing but love in here, man. You know what I mean? So people who are successful are usually successful in a whole bunch of different things. And I think we're a good example of that because we focus on doing the right thing all the time and you know, elevating yourself, man. We are what we are now because we mean well. Our intention is always to do well, man. And if my daughter was to say, Daddy, I don't want to do this no more, like I told her this all the time, like if you ever feel like you don't want to wake up and come out here and deal with these dogs, I'll sell them all. We can do something else. It's really that simple because that's not why we got into it. You know what I mean? It ain't about the dollar. It's about you having the peace to do what you want during the day. You creating your own schedule. You know what I'm saying? And that's what the dogs afford us. That's what this industry allows you to do. It's like a lot of other things. There's so much other stuff we can do, man. You know what I mean? So this ain't everything.
You know, speaking of that, I know we're off topic a little bit, but this is interesting conversation because what is the thought process with you and your daughter when it comes to the conversation like get a job? What is your thoughts behind that?
I don't believe in that. I mean, she can explain that to you. I mean,
yeah, talk about that.
You want to explain to him how you answer that question?
Instead of having a job, he encourages all of us to run our own business, and not be on a planned schedule like someone else, and to run your own day. Like, take control of your own life instead of having it scheduled by a 9-to-5 job.
You know, with that being said, what are some of the things that you're involved with?
Talking about me?
No.
Her?
Yes.
He's saying what you involved with besides the dogs. What else you involved with when it comes to creating your
lane, your path?
Yeah.
I like writing. Writing books. I've started writing one mainly that I'm working on right now. But me personally, I'm my biggest critic, so I always go back and say that's not good enough and change. So it's a process.
I done seen this girl rip, like, she say one. She talking about one book that she deems as a book, but she's written children's books years ago. Like, we got stacks of stuff that she's done, and because she don't approve of it, she act like it don't exist. I'm like, this is all good things we can publish. But right now, like I said, man, I ain't even told her this, but we done built her a catalog already of stuff that we gonna publish at one time. And
look at her face. She's like, no.
But like she said, she her biggest critic. I was the same way, man. I was the same way. She's all about perfection, but I've seen her crumble up like an entire piece of work, all because she done messed up on, you know, one concept. I'm like, you ain't had to throw away everything. But she's that hard on herself. I just try to get her to realize, like, you don't have to do that. You know what I'm saying? Just the same way you control your day, control your emotions, and not, you know, don't get upset with yourself because it's not as good as you think it should be. Like, you know what I'm saying? At the same time, take into consideration what I'm saying. Like, the fact that you are beyond great at not only at your age, but man, what you're doing is wonderful.
Now I gotta ask. Now, have you started looking at colleges yet? Like, are you the Ivy League route, or are you the HBCU route?
Oh my God, man! Man, I tell you this, I ain't gonna speak for you. Go ahead. She know more about She know more about colleges than I did the year before I went to college. Like, she ready to go now. Go ahead, talk. Tell her what your plans are.
No, my dream college to go to would be UCLA. The only problem with that is it's so far away from home. Daddy would rather me go closer. So my top college would be UCLA. Number 2 would be UC Berkeley or Virginia Tech.
Oh, BT. You say you gotta go to your apple water.
Yeah, she trying to be nice by saying BT. BT is really beneath her level of, you know what I mean, her level of expertise, because she's just, man, she's way beyond where I was academically.
Way beyond. You know, with that, your field that you're going into with the microbiology, what's the top school in the country as far as the microbiology?
You know what it is.
Harvard.
It's Harvard.
UCLA is UCLA is on the list too, and UC Berkeley. UC Berkeley is higher than UCLA, which is why that would be my number 2. UCLA, just like the atmosphere and the feel of it is what I like.
Oh, you like the LA?
yeah. Like when I lived in LA playing with the LA Kiss, they loved it out there, man. They love it out there. Like they did not want to come back over here. You know what I mean? So she's you know, she's pretty well traveled for her age. She done been everywhere I done been. So, you know, UCLA is a nice college, but at the same time, I'd rather her be, you know, a few hours away where I can take a ride and go see her.
Yeah, I hear that.
Yeah.
Now, not only are you involved with Muscle Murals, you also have the Chuck Brown Foundation. You want to talk about that? Because during these times in the COVID, you know, with a lot of the bands aren't able to perform in our area, your foundation was instrumental in trying to help those bands during these times when they're unable to make the income like they normally do.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it was obviously a need for it, and like the go-go industry in general. All of those people, man. A lot of them have a second job, but at the same time, their base, you know, most of their income came from performing live, just like any other musician. But go-go in general is, man, I can't explain enough how the people matter so much.
It's like the heartbeat of the city.
Exactly, man. When I say the people, I'm talking about not only people in the bands, but everybody in the crowd, all the fans, and it's kind of similar, I would say, even to the Bullies, man. Like the community sense of it is so important. It's so important to the longevity of the whole thing. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, we had an opportunity to again lead by example and provide people with a little bit of a cushion. You know what I mean? Some extra income on top of whatever type of, if they took advantage of some government assistances. I know a lot of people, you know, during this time were able to take advantage of something, man. It was so many opportunities out there that we may not ever see in our lifetimes again. You know what I mean? But we did our part by providing them with the cushion, you know, some sort. Providing them with you know, a check or two from the foundation through donations, you know, from those same fans who would have went to a show. And you know, you got to think, a fan go to a show, they don't spend money on an outfit, you don't buy a drink, you bought a ticket. That money alone, you know, being just a quarter of that, being able to go to the band that you would have went to see next week anyway, you know, is the right thing for people to do, man. And we got a lot of support from that. We raised a lot of money from it, and you know, it was a great thing, man. And something that we may consider doing all the time, if you know, if it calls for it. But we were so glad to be able to provide that for people. We don't have Merles thugs. Everybody always buys me out of the males. They buy me out of the males, man. And another thing is, we produce better females than males so far. So like Elephant Bone is an example of a good male we produce, but you see these females we got, man. LaWanda, Merles. I'm gonna bring Jackie out in a little bit, and then Benevolent. The females are the foundation of any kennel, you know what I mean? But we produce better females than males so far. So that was one. We had a few sent to Hawaii. It's not really overseas, but a few to Hawaii, one to the UK. So yeah, we've gotten out of the US a few times already.
Now, has that process been hard to get dogs out overseas right now?
It hasn't been overseas. The hardest place to get a dog to was Canada, actually.
Really?
Yeah, believe it or not, Canada, because it was an older dog. We sold a female named Iris. She was another female. I think I said I got one from this guy before, with Jessie Splunge. She was a Coffrey daughter. Anyway, she's an older female. It was hard to get her across the border during, you know, the COVID, because they don't allow people to basically cross the border. And for an older dog to go over, they were trying to reroute her to a whole different province, trying to reroute her to like Edmonton to get her in. And they were my shipper was in Toronto at the time, So it was real hard to get her over there, man. And they almost took her and like euthanized her, all because it wasn't done the right way. And of course, I didn't know anything about that until it came down to it, because the customer I sold it to ended up having to actually walk across the border himself to get her. And he had to pay taxes at the border to get her, which is like he had to pay a whole nother
Bless you.
he had to pay a whole nother $3,000 just to get her into the country, I think. You know what I mean? So it was tough. It was tough, but they waived it all. He didn't have to pay anything, and it was basically like, you know, next time this is how you need to operate. But because of the times that we're in, that's why it was tough. But besides that, everywhere else has been pretty easy.
So what's your vision of Muscle Murals within the next 2 years? What do you want to see as far as your vision of how to grow the Muscle Merle brand?
Next 2 years, man, I'm looking forward to a high level of consistency. And that will make it, not only make it easier to choose puppies, but at the same time, there won't be a bad pick in the litter. You know what I mean? And that's what I really want, man. High level of consistency, very, very, very consistent productions. And that's why I keep breeding to, if I ever go outside my kennel, I'm breeding to a dog that represents consistency, a dog that has shown consistency, like Luciano, Aka, and Shamrock. Shamrock is man, so I think Shamrock is so underrated. But very consistent dogs that consistently produce. And that's one thing I can't say I haven't gotten as much of out of Law. Because of how his pedigree is, he's really a razor's edge dog. You know what I mean? He's only one-time Magoo. He's got Magoo's look, but he's able to produce different looks if he's bred to certain things. Like I've gotten a whole muscle tone litter out of him when I breed to a muscle tone blood female. But if I breed him to an edge female, I get a bunch of edge dogs, meaning like nice and clean, but they're not as girthy as his muscle tone blood females. You know what I mean? So depending on what he's bred to, that's what I'm gonna get. And just his productions are not as consistent as his son, Elephant Bone. Elephant Bone, so far, he has stamped every litter he done had, man. I mean, straight clones out of the whole thing. And nice, short, compact. The sizes of all of them been very consistent. You know what I mean? So that's one thing like I said, I'm looking forward to is consistency.
Now, are you looking forward to keeping a Merle stud? Because you say you always get rid of all the...
Always get rid of all the studs, man. But this litter off of Lucky Lou, of course, I'm definitely keeping the stud off of that one for sure. Because everybody, I mean, that's the world's first Merle litter off of Lucky Lou. And we had so many haters on that one, too, because they didn't even think Alex would breed to a Merle. But what was his thoughts when you went to him with that? Because I'm actually a little surprised, too. Yeah. Alex, he told me he was a fan of our program, man, and he was also another person who was supportive. And I think you can't help but support integrity, man. Like I do things the right way, dog. It's really that simple. You know what I mean? It's hard to say anything negative about what we're doing, period. And Alex is a good example again of somebody who represents consistency. Lucky Lou, one of the most, to me, he top 2 or 3 most consistent studs ever, man. That's my, you know what I mean, from what I know and from what I've seen, he's one of the most consistent studs out there, period. And like even looking at Lawanda, man, she looks just like him, and that's his granddaughter, you know what I mean, off of Law. So I always use her as an example, and I can't wait to breed her back to him either. But yeah, man, for that litter to be the first one ever off of Lucky Lou, it's going to be hard to let any of them go in. And Lucky is also a heavy female producing dog, just like his son Shamrock. We had all females in that Shamrock litter except one male, and that one male I ended up selling. But he's a heavy female producing stud, so we may only get 1 or 2 males out of him. But no matter what it is, I'm definitely going to keep it for sure.
Now, as far as what you have with the 2-time Vino son, can you imagine what it would look like with the Merle look or something that short?
Man, look.
Have you seen anything like that yet?
I've seen only a couple productions out there, a couple Veneno Blood productions out there with Merle on it, and they all puppies right now. But this is why people think, because some people think because they got the blood, they're going to get the look that they like. That's not always the truth. I forgot what I was saying.
All right, we back. We were talking about what it would look like with your two-time Vino son, 2020 with the Merle look.
With Merle look, yeah. So that's why I'm breeding his father Aka to Platinum Pressure. Now, like when you get so far inbred, like Plat is, she's 9 times Dax. It's a consistent line coming from Tino, but her mom was a micro height dog. So she's like dwarfed down a little bit. So her going to an exotic is going to be a good outcross. But he's not. When I say exotic again, I don't want people to think the exotic look. 'Cause when you say exotic, people think the exotic looking dog, but it's the blood that I focus on. You know what I mean? I don't like the exotic look in general as far as just the sloppiness.
Overly done.
Yeah, overly done stuff. Like I still like the dogs for the dogs to be clean and functional. But for her to outcross from all that Dax to a dwarf down dog, when it comes to the pedigree anyway, it's gonna come out clean like I want. It's gonna look, I'm gonna get a whole litter of Merle 2020s. You know what I mean? Breeding back to by breeding back to his father. So it's gonna be amazing, man. And that's, like I said, we just did that. Exactly what you're doing, what you're saying. We just did that breeding. Or we're doing it again tomorrow, actually. So.
Hey man, I truly appreciate your time, man. Let me come out to the facility, man. We're gonna check out some dogs next, man.
Yeah, that'll work. That'll work, man. Shoot, you got anything else you want to say, baby? No. But I appreciate your support, so I appreciate it, man. I will say this: I got every month since we did that first interview years ago. I had people call me because of that, and I'm like, yeah, you gotta. I direct them to my website now. And they go to our YouTube channel now, you know what I mean? But everybody comes to me off of that first video we did about law, man. And everything we said we're going to do, we've done it. You know what I mean? So I just appreciate you for having us on your platform, man. And we forever going to support you, dog. You know what I mean? Because what you're doing and what you've already done is something that will always be needed, you know what I mean, in this industry alone, you know what I mean? So you're doing your thing with the boxing also is a beautiful thing, man.
I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, we appreciate you, man.
All right, there you have it. Bully Talk Zed Pitts. We out.
Peace.
So all the dogs pretty much get along well?
Oh yeah, man, all of them. The only one that might snap a couple times is Law. Cause he's old man now, so he a little set in his ways. We're gonna see Crush and Jackie come out here.
Hey.
To Elephant Bone, and that's why, like, this first time she been out with all the rest of the dogs since I bred her.
So she excited right there. Man, it's a lot of space out here, man. What's some of the things you said you wanted to do besides the facility that you have right here?
It's just temporary, actually, man. This little facility you see right here is temporary. Our main facility that I'm gonna get built is gonna go way back there with our pool and everything else like that.
What's so crazy? Your property actually goes beyond that fence.
Yeah. It does.
Man, you got a phenomenal group of dogs out
Thank
here,
you, man. I appreciate it.
That female lineup ain't no joke you got out here, man.
It ain't for real, like I said. So hopefully I can keep a nice stud off of these next few breedings, because I ain't been able to keep them real stud yet. Everybody always buy them out, man. And we haven't had that many options as far as the Merle studs anyways. We produce mostly females.
I can see that beanstalk look.
Yeah, man. She's probably the most compact beanstalk out here. For her and Jackie should be pregnant. I don't want to do too much running around, banging up on each other.
Now, who is this right here?
That's Jackie Brown. That's the one we just bred to Lucky Lou. All daughter Jackie. Plat.
Who's Platinum off of?
Platinum Pressure off of Tino. Tino is a Santino son.
Well, they nice and thick, man.
Yeah. Stop, Crush. Get down. Get down.
You ever thought about taking him in the show ring?
Man, we tried when he was younger.
Oh, the patience. Oh.
He don't like other dogs, man. Like outside of what you see here. When we take him to shows, he be snapping at everything. And I asked Rafik about that. I'm like, man, what's up with your blood? Cause I ain't never had none of Law Productions do nothing like that.
Do we got some Remy in that background?
It does.
That's what it is. That's how, like, what it is.
I know. I heard of Remy and Corrupt Blood being a little hot, man.
Yeah, they hot, man.
Yeah, and he had a little Napoleon complex. We had him in the ring when he was about like 6 or 7 months. He did well, of course. You see, real clean, but he was just snapping, man. I never really tried after he was about 10 months old, and he's only he's about to be, he'll be 2 in February.
Man, it's nice and quiet out here too, man.
Yeah, man, yeah. Nice neighborhood.
And man, once again, man, I truly appreciate your time,
Man,
big dog.
I appreciate you coming, man. I appreciate you coming. Like I said, I just wanted you to see what what we done created, man, all the way from that first video, you know what I mean? And you were part of this, you know, to me, you part of all this, man. Thank you.
All right, order rope. I say order ropes. I've been thinking about the order ropes, man. Pitts, I'm out.
That was a hell of a fight the other night, too, man.
Oh, before we leave, man, I gotta ask you your process while you doing that, man, of picking a pup, because it seems like all the pups that you pick, man, are some badass pups, man.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. I haven't picked the wrong puppy yet, man. That's one thing that I will say for other people, that is the most important part of this process, is not selling the best, because unless you get good money for the best, like it's happened to me on males before, but when it comes to best females in a litter, man, I've never picked the wrong female. And that will definitely, like, some people to make you sick. Like, I know I talked to Alex about this one time, and he talked about Shamrock. And when he sold Shamrock, he was like, damn, like, how did I miss that dog? You know what I mean? And that's one of the things that I never want to happen to me, is to feel like, damn, like, I didn't keep the best out of the litter.
Oh, I didn't realize. Oh, so Alex missed out on Shamrock.
Yeah, he missed out.
He didn't know.
I mean, nobody. I don't think anybody. I think Shamrock was sold like 3 times before he actually became what he was. They didn't know he was gonna be what he was since he was like a year old, I think. So but that's an example of what I mean. Like I'm not saying that he picked the wrong puppy, but I know he looked at that dog like, damn. You know what I'm saying? Like he wish he had kept him. But yeah, man, I've been very fortunate in picking the right puppies.
What's your secret, man? You want to get people inside scoop, or what's the secret to picking the right pup?
Yeah, let me give y'all a little something. The overall, I wish I had a puppy I could show you one. If you come back in a few weeks.
Oh, definitely, definitely.
I'm gonna show you what I'm talking about. I'm gonna do a video on my YouTube channel also. I've already done one when I picked her as a puppy. But the overall structure of the dog, some features that'll never lie to you. How short the back is, and how thick the hind legs are as far as the bone. Now, when it comes to the blood, it matters also. Don't get me wrong. I can't say it's the same for any puppy, any blood. But when it comes to pocket bullies, all the way down to micros, the bone will never lie to you. You know what I mean? The bone and the spread will never lie to you. Bone, spread, how short that back is. I'm always looking for a nice short neck, short back. You know what I mean? Any dog with a longer neck or loose skin has some growing to do. So the tightest skin, the most dense muscle, when you pick a puppy up, how solid is it? You know what I mean? That'll let you know how it's going to be as an adult. Like LaWanda and Elephant Bone, great examples of that. Elephant Bone, since he was a baby, he's always been solid to the touch. You know what I mean? And it's a lot of other things I can tell you, but just in general, that alone is enough, man. How tight the skin is, how short the back is.
Now, is it a certain amount of weeks you wait before you pick your pup?
I always wait until, I mean, I like to pick as early as 6 weeks.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But from 6 weeks to like 9 weeks, that stretch is going to tell you how tall that dog gonna get. Because sometimes they had like these, I wish I had a puppy to show you, they had like these knots in their ankles. If any puppy has knots in the ankles, that tells you it's gonna get taller. The ones with the stubbiest legs usually gonna be the shortest, the shortest puppies. You know what I mean? But a lot of puppies that'll fool you. Like I'm glad I'm not an XL breeder, because XLs, all of them look good as puppies, all of them, and they'll fool you as far as how they look as a puppy compared to how they gonna end up. You know what I mean? That's why I said, like, with pockets is way easier to tell. With taller dogs, you can potentially pick the wrong puppy sometimes.
Hey man, I appreciate your time giving a little insight on picking a pup, man.
Thank you.
There you have it, man. If you want to get it, go to the website right here. Muscle Murals.
MuscleMurals.com.
Should be having some dropping, in a couple of months?
No, shoot. Well, yeah, 1 more month. One more month was our first litter for this season, I would say, for the winter. But we got 6 completed breedings on our website right now. So yeah, we got a lot of stuff in store for people, man.
Man, appreciate your time always, nigga.
Thank you, Zeb. Thank you.
All right. Zeb Pitts, we out.
Peace.